If you've just joined us on Team Fortress TV, I'd say welcome. Where have you been? This is our coverage of the first TFT Center Archimedes Cup, sponsored by Scrap.TF. This must be like our 4th weekend of doing this, right?
Yeah, I think it is. We had a midweek endeavor as well, so it is only our 3rd week of actually doing it, but it's our fourth occasion. This cup has been spanning quite a large amount of time because it was such a big cup, and it's been a pleasure to do it.
And this is going to be the quarterfinals and the semis tonight, but this is the quarters right now. It is going to be logjam. It's going to be played as a best of 1, and the game that won our straw poll vote was in fact Six Little Blunts versus DongerBears. Sideshow, you're in the STV. Dare you give me a roster rundown?
Yes, I'll give you that roster rundown for 6. Oh, hello. I would give you a roster rundown for 6 Little Blunts, but at the moment I'm a little unsure of who their medic is. So I will start instead with DongerBears. DongerBears on medic, they have Das Boomis. I've seen him in the Twitch chat as well. On Demoman, it is Sweet J. On soldiers, it's Einstein the Crazy and Blue. Let me see if I can try and find out which one of them is going to be on Roma and which one of them is going to be on Pocket. It looks like Blue is going to be on the Pocket class, and Einstein the Crazy is going to be on Roma. And on Scout, they have Respawn and Restore. For 6 Little Blunts, I'm going to assume that the guy currently playing Engineer is in fact their medic. It's going to be Fsidu on medic. On Demoman, they have got Pseudo. Their soldiers, Conkers and Porky, and it looks like Conkers is going to be their Pocket, with Porky playing that roaming class, which is going to be very important on these middles. The 2 scouts, Banshee and Celebi, to finish off the roster.
Well, don't mind me. Yeah, I'm just turning off these ETF2L aliases, you know, but now I can see which team is which. In the blue, going to be 6 Little Blunts, and DongerBears in the red. There's 12 players on the server, but the game isn't live just yet. I wonder, are they waiting for us? We're ready to go, guys. If you're listening to the stream, fire that up. I don't have any of them on friends, unfortunately. But thanks to Kakelty for hooking us up with the server details. Everything is just super smooth in terms of our organization right now. I haven't actually played this version with the little raised braids. I've seen the screenshots. And the last version I saw was that one where Heist had made it a second hut across the whole thing.
Yeah.
I told him to put something in the middle, but this works.
Yeah,
this is blocking that vision too.
Yeah, this blocks the vision as you come through the house. You can see slightly underneath the bridge to the opposing house, but you can't really see onto the mid very well. So it really means that you have to play on top of the house or on top of the mid. Mid's a very powerful position to play on this mid fight now. I mean, literally on the point. It's very powerful, and it looks a little Obscure-esque with these planks going across onto the rocks. If any of you guys remember Obscure or Obscure Final, that was connected in a little similar way to this, but Obscure didn't have the height advantage on the point. It wasn't as important to really be stood right on that capture point. Instead, it had some crates either side of the mid. But the way that this mid plays out at the moment, it's very powerful for a kind of snake water approach. It's if you get your Roma to just bomb in straight across the point, it's difficult for their scouts to really get a block on it, because there's no high ground like near the mid for scouts to get on or soldiers to get on that you can't walk on. So unlike Snakewater, where it's got that real top ground that you have to rocket jump up to or double jump up to, on this mid you can just walk across the highest point of the mid, and so it really does favor the demo man just pushing across and getting out a ton of damage. It can be a little difficult for scouts to deny roaming soldiers, something like that. They may find this mid slightly more difficult to play than previous iterations, but we're gonna see. Yeah, exactly. Poor scouts, the most OP class in the game. They can't kill everybody on the mid. Poor them. So we have gone live, Admirable, with our first quarter final of the night in this Archimedes Cup.
Absolutely brilliant. I'm going to be watching the perspective of I'm going to watch Banshee, because he was the guy that was waiting to deliver, and he's playing scout here for 6 Little Blunts. He's moving forward onto the point already. His roamer Porky is in control of the red roof, and he's just waiting for the rest of his team. It seems to be all Porky, in fact, putting on the hurt. Pseudo walking forward. The Demo Man gets first blood there, killing it off Einstein, the enemy soldier. And Six Little Blunts have strong position here on the point. They've got control of that high ground on the middle, but they're being attacked from underneath here as DongerBears Restore tries to get that. He gets the pick on Porky, but then goes down to Banshee seconds later. The fight continues here though. It's like DongerBears just don't want to give this up. They're trying to stay in, but they're sort of playing at that choke point and they're just taking a lot of damage there. Their medic is trying to give Banshee the jukes, but he's going to get that frag, gets the med pick, and his team have not just taken middle, they've also managed to get a lot of frags here on the transition between 3 and 4, and this is going to help them perhaps push all the way to last, Sideshow.
Yeah, I think DongerBears stayed in there a little too long, and nobody connected with DongerBears. He was on 92% there as he was trying to evade Banshee, but Banshee got the frag. Now they've got a huge Uber advantage to push last with. They're going to be coming from this main entrance, it looks like. The Uber is going to be used through the sticky trap. The sticks are dead. Nobody's launched into the skybox, but they're going to be trying to get this high ground on last and then get some frags down. The last point caps incredibly quickly, and it looks like they're trying to play it now. Everybody's going down to really weak health, but it's actually DongerBears doing a brilliant job of defending this. FCDU is going to go down, and the last player alive from the attacking team is Porky, their roaming soldier. It looks like he is going to be able to back out, but he might be able to contest Restore here, who may have pushed out slightly too quickly. But it looks like Restore with that high ground is going to be able to die on him pretty well. He's still making an attempt of it, but Restore gets the frag.
He's softened him up a little bit. Restore has to... Oh, he's thinking of going for the kit. Doubles back now. He's on 8 health. Going to catch that rocket at long range. Conkers claims the frag. And Six Little Blunts are getting ready to put up a little defense here around CP3. If they're paying attention, the fact that their medic died and DongerBears medic did not means that they need to be playing a little defensive here. There's going to be an Uber charge coming in momentarily. 100% in the tank right now for DongerBears, and the position of Six Little Blunts is good. You know, they're trying to get their intel. They're looking to see where they're coming from, and they're going to see this red wave coming through from the choke. But they've actually walked forward here. Their medic Fizdu is trying to back off. The Uber has been popped off, and DongerBears are sending their players bombing in, but they haven't paid attention to the flanks. It's wide open as Hoagie comes in from behind and kills off the medic, and he's going to be backed up there by... Oh, that scout distracting. Suyooo walks forward, the Devilman just spamming out those stickies, doing huge damage here. Banshee's going to pick up a 2k as well, and it seems like Six Little Blunts had set the trap there, and DongerBears walked right into it.
Yeah, the trap was set and ready, and they fell right into it there. And Six Little Blunts are going to be able to pick up this Spire and go all the way to last. Again, they have a big Uber advantage. This time, DongerBears again going to be hard pushed to defend it without an Uber of their own. They're choosing not to run any off classes here. Pyro can be incredibly effective on this top left-hand area. And he's got the stickies on the main door just to force the Uber very early, Sweet J. So that's a good decision from him, I think. Six Blunts this time, choosing to push from that top left-hand side. They have got the frag onto Restore right at the beginning. And Suyoo's been launching incredibly far. He's onto the medic, actually. He does go down, though, so no Demonman in this push. However, they have got 3 frags already. Sweet J to spook them some respawn. The only players left alive. And Six Blunts just rush the point, and with that very fast camp time and all the players alive, they are able just to cap it off straight away. It is 1-0, and with 4 minutes taken, it's not looking like a roll. It's just looking like a very back and forth game between these two teams.
Alright, guess how much of a boss Ari is. It turns out he's actually on a skiing holiday whenever he's getting out of the bath, and he's just come and fixed the live stats for us, and he's going out on the après ski now, he tells me. But anyway, on to this mid fight, and it is Six Little Blunts with a 1-0 lead. On the second mid, they already find themselves with 3 frags, both scouts getting gunned down there. Conkers, Banshee and Porky all picking up frags on this mid fight, and the rest of DongerBears have stayed in quite a long time there, and they've been chased now by Porky. DongerBears, the medic, takes a little bit of damage there. He's been softened up, and the rest of Six Little Blunts are now moving in from the left, and they're totally outnumbering these remaining DongerBears players. They're not playing that numbers game well, and they're going to get manhandled here, but Respawn on the respawn comes storming in there, gets the pick onto Suyooo, the Six Little Blunts demo man, so this might help DongerBears take this fight. They have actually managed to force out the enemy Uber, and that's probably the best they could have hoped for, but they're also denying them from the cap at present because they've managed to thin out their numbers, so they could theoretically contest here, Sideshow.
They definitely could. I don't think they will. They look like they're holding back a little bit. just setting up their defense there. Again, not running an off-class, but they do have an Uber advantage. It'll be interesting to see whether they decide to push. Logjam, the defending team on Spire, if the team holding last decides to push, they do have that height advantage. But if you're clever about it, it is possible to push out, and it's not too difficult. I would say it's not as bad as Badlands. So yeah, it's very possible. There's not as many entrances to cover for backcaps and things like that, so it's not as much that you have to worry about. But with Restore going down, the Scout, such a fragile class, and if he plays ahead of his team, he is going to get picked off like that. So Restore throwing his life away, and it looks like Das Boomis and the rest of their team of DongerBears is just going to hold last with this Uber advantage that they have.
So currently you can see on screen that they have got like a 15% advantage, and they're not actually looking like they want to push with it. Like in real terms, you know, 15% is less than 8 seconds, so that means you have to be in position and onto the enemy medic and get him killed, like even though he can surf your rockets and stuff. So it sort of doesn't make much sense when you're trying to play a tight competitive game. So a lot of teams won't even bother pushing in those thin advantages. They'll just try and hold and take the Uber trade, and they have done that here, but they already lost the player before the Uber being even popped off, and the bomb in there from 6 Little Blunts meant the defenders had to pop their Uber first. DongerBears were forced to use their Uber then, even with the superior numbers and the more seconds of Uber charge remaining. 6 Little Blunts came in and just dismantled their defense on last there. So that was a little bit disastrous. It seems like the 6 Little Blunts have a good handle on when they should be pushing and how to execute. They've been playing well so far, but DongerBears, their tournament life is on the line. This is a best of 1 right now. Onto this mid though, and Porky though is going to give away first blood, so DongerBears actually looking good. They've got a little edge in this mid fight, but it's just now they're beginning to move forward and try and extend that lead. Einstein, the crazy, jumping forward, putting out damage. Respawn, the Scout flanks in from behind, comes up on the slope there, kills off Conquers. Now he's looking for this Scout 1v1 in the cave area there with Selby. He's going to actually back off and regroup with his team, but DongerBears coming out with a strong response there after those 2 rounds, Sideshow.
Yeah, and I really like that play by Respawn. It was a very clever flank, managed to pick off and distract the team and then back off, which is crucial to avoid himself being a casualty in that mess as well. They've got a pick onto Celebi as well, so this is a prime time to push in for the DongerBears. Uber is on that right hand side in the banana, and they might be pushing through now onto Patio. They might be able to catch Pseudo off. He's as the demo man just trying to put some spam out. The Uber has been used in. Einstein's going to take the first flash, but really doesn't have much left, and now they're using Sweet J, their demo man, to try and put out as much damage as they can. Unfortunately, they're losing players left, right and centre. Only Sweet J and Blue left alive, and Blue's being chased down fast. Sweet J as well getting attacked by Banshee, and it's a full wipe with only Restore alive, and he's a spawner. Goodness me, 6B. A great defense there, but I feel like DongerBears really could have done more with their Uber charge.
Yeah, I just have to take exceptions with Power Shrooms and Twitch chat as well. He's saying, what's with the negativity? These players are all new to comp. That's exactly what this is, my friend. It's a competition. We're trying to discriminate between 2 teams here. So if I say one team made a bad play, that's because they're relatively bad to their opponents, not because they're bad players. Please, you know, wipe the tears away from your vagina. This is competition. It's happening right now. There's €1,000 at stake. Get with the program, man. We can't be nice to everyone all the time. Hopefully teams are going to be watching this. They can learn from their mistakes. I'm not just going to sit here and hold your hand. He's doing a great job.
Both of the scouts here as well from DongerBears are actually going to push out and give both of their lives away. That's not good when they have a 20% disadvantage, but can Das Boomis hold on to this Uber charge and maybe get it in the wake of this this Uber coming in from 6 Little Blunts? He's on 93% at the moment. If he can just keep his pocket alive and dive onto the point, unfortunately they can't quite. Das Boomis had a task that was just a little too hard, and with the rest of his team throwing their lives into the breach, he was unable to get that Uber charge with his pocket and block the point. So 6 Little Blunts extend their lead to 3-0. 10 minutes gone. They're really starting to rack up this lead here. DongerBears need to figure out what's going wrong and really try and execute better on these pushes.
Yeah, they had a good mid last time. I'm hoping for more of the same. Respawn, he's looking for action. He's stepping onto the point here ahead of the rest of his team. Sweet J's looking to back him up as well. Restore's actually first in, but Conquers just shuts him down with the shotgun. And the soldiers from DongerBears need to do more in this mid fight. They need to try and coordinate with the rest of the team and jump in, but it's actually Porky who's going to take my advice, go straight in there, gets the 2k. That's Boomies and Sweet J going down. That's Demo and Medic crushed there by the big bomb forward from Porky, taking the initiative and making things happen for his team. They're going to be able to take control of mid after that protracted fight. They're now on the Spire and they are ready to push forward onto last. They got a full Uber advantage here. It's all about the execution of this push. This is a strong situation for them, but Restore's distracting them right now on the flank. Wins the 1v1 with Selby. And he's going to try and get out of there, but will go down himself, and that's at least bought some time for his team here. They're just 70% behind in the Uber race, but they're sitting with a good position here. They've got stickies on the roller door, stickies on the main door as well, and they're going to force that Uber charge out, and now they need to try and kite it. Sweet J's gone down though, Demoman down, and that means he won't be able to put stickies on the point, and they're just going to get rushed in as 6 little blunts stack the point and claim another round. That's going to be 4-0 here with 18 minutes and 30 seconds left, Sideshow.
Yeah, this is the last chance saloon for DongerBears here. They really need a good mid, and they need to be able to push off the back of it as well. They had a great flanking play previously from Respawn. See if somebody could do something like that. Banshee and Porky really going aggressive on this mid fight. They need to be taken down quickly if DongerBears want any chance of winning this mid fight. Restore instead goes down, and now 6 little blunts have got all the position. This is high time for DongerBears to get out of this situation. I think Porky going forward as well might get taken down, but the Respawn has already been a casualty on this mid fight, and now the medic of Das Boomis is getting chased out on 4 HP, manages to pick up the health kit and run away. He's going to connect with Einstein, but he's only on 75%, and Sidhu, the medic for 6 little blunts, has his Uber charge already, so he needs to connect with someone here, Das Boomis, but he's getting chased by both of the scouts. He does go down, and there's not going to be an Uber here to block for DongerBears. This is a terrible situation for our red team here. Einstein the Crazy desperately trying to block the point, and Restore's going for a flank as well. I'm not sure what's going on in regards to this, but the Uber has been used. I think that's what DongerBears were trying to do with the aggression there, force out the Uber from Sidhu. They have managed to do that. Oh, and Sweet J with a sweet pipe to take down Celebi, but he does give his own life for that. And they're still trying to contest this Spire. They've done fairly well out of it, really. They keep throwing bodies into it, and you would expect 6 blunts to take advantage of that and get the picks and be able to push less. But to be fair to them, DongerBears didn't do too bad a job defending that. With the Ubers out the way, they've actually got a better chance of defending last.
I just heard a little update from one of the other games there, Chemo and the Kids versus Sprinkler Kids. It turns out Chemo and the Kids got 5-0'd in 8 minutes, so Sprinkler Kids progressed to the next round. They are too strong. Lucky we didn't cast that game, I guess. This game potentially a 5-0 as well, but at present it looks like we could have an Uber versus Uber fight on our hands. 6 little blunts. If they push right now, they'll have a few % of an advantage there, but they're going to delay. But they found a frag. Respawn goes down to join Restore in the spawn, because they're actually only 3 up now against 6 Ubers on both sides. They need to buy time for these spawns, but Sweet J's getting pressured hard. Actually ends up trading with Conquers with a big pipe there. Kills himself off, but does get that frag. And look at 6 little blunts, just not really committing to the point, controlling that high ground and picking off their opponents one after the other. Like, I love the fact they didn't go straight for the point, because sometimes that can be disastrous. Great control there, great composure. These kids are going all the way. They're at least going to the semi-finals, because they've just beaten DongerBears in emphatic fashion. A 5-0 here, and they'll be going through to that semi-final, which is scheduled to start in 20 minutes time. Let's take a look at the log, Sideshow, and we'll try and get some of these other results in too.
A good idea. I'm going to bring up the logs now and have a look at what went wrong here for DongerBears. It was good play by 6 little blunts, and they're leading on kills 75-31. DongerBears just unable to find the frags here. Einstein with only 1 for 13, and the scouts with 4 and 6 respectively, compared to the oh no, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong scout there. The scouts for DongerBears going 11 for 18 and 4 for 15, so not great, but Restore trying to keep them in it with a few frags, unfortunately dying a little too often as well. But it really seems like the player to watch from 6 little blunts was Banshee. He was tearing things up, goes 25 for 3 with 363 damage per minute on Logjam, absolutely cleaning up all of those frags and doing all the damage as well. So great play by him and the soldiers from 6 Little Blunts.
Yeah, I'm just talking to Kelty right now as well. He's going to help us perhaps find another game. He might even join and talk to us. I see raffle action is underway as well, but at the same time, I'm noticing that people are saying they can't sign in. I'm going to try and enter the raffle, Sideshow. We can help test this. I am on Scrap.TF. It's voting for me. Can I sign in through Steam? That's the question. Oh dear. It says I'm not logged in. Don't let me log in.
It does have a 95 out of 500 entries, so 95 people don't have this problem, Admirable. I think it's just you, mate.
Too poor in Irish. Oh, we've got Kakaltu here as well. So,
hi.
What's happening? Kakaltu, obviously ETFTL admin and TF2 Center admin. He's the man with all the connections. Tell us about the current state of the tournament.
So basically this round has been going really well. There's one team that's in Switzerland. They had all their players there, but we reserved a French server, and somehow they have 200 ping, so had to do something manually there. And I'm gonna try to see if we have one of those matches over there. I see a server with 8. I have one with 12 players, but give me a second.
We could be going to another game. That's awesome. I wonder what... Is that Commander X's game, Kakaltu?
Which team is he on?
The Essentials?
The Essentials.
Nope. I can look at his...
I'm going to talk to him as well.
Yeah, there are 2 other games still going on. There's Jade Chapman against No, and there is the Essentials against Globetrotters. So both of those games still without results yet. But the 6 Little Blunts against DongerBears came out in favour of 6 Little Blunts, and Sprinkler Kids versus Chemo the Kids came out in favour of Sprinkler Kids. So they're both advancing to the semi-finals. Unfortunately, they're on separate sides of the brackets, so they can't play an early semi-final against each other. But we know at least one of the teams who's going to be in each semi-final.
Yeah, and if we were to guess, I would expect to see Commander X going through there to the semis as well, but we've been wrong before. There's a little guy called Grant Vincent, plays under the name Banny. You might have heard of him. Came into the Archimedes Cup.
I think I have.
A lot of fans. Didn't make it, man, and it's tough out there. It's dog eat dog in the Archimedes Cup. Dove eat dove, you might say, Sideshow.
Gaben's special delivery did a number on them. Beat them 2-0 on Snakewater in the first round of the knockouts, actually.
Kelty, maybe you want to give us some insight to the Jai Chapman situation as well. Hildreth was trying to feed us his ETFTL propaganda. Let's see if your stories match up.
So basically, they had one player that had an alt account. It was reported to ETFTL, but we found it on TF2 Center. And basically, his alt account had platinum participation on UGC. And based on that, because it's really tough to delve into who played which match in UGC.
Right.
We primarily just barred their team from the rest of the tournament. But they came up with really strong evidence that he didn't play. And we reversed the verdict, and they're able to play now.
And I was asking Hildreth then, what was the difference between that and the previous situation with the All Right Gorgeous, where they had a player who'd apparently got previous experience in UGC despite having never played for the team. What was the difference? How can you have the same situation and make 2 different decisions?
I have no idea. I have to look into that. I'm now checking.
I can say one provided proof that they didn't break any of the rules, the others didn't.
There was a big Reddit thread on TF.
Who reads Reddit,
True
man?
TF2? True TF2? I think Permzilla was commenting on that and everything.
I've told Permzilla not to say anything without me saying things, you see.
This was...
I shouldn't let him out of his cage.
It was last
I'm only
week.
kidding. I don't know anything about that.
I didn't read the whole thread because it was just like a massive debate. Oh yeah, I found it. I'm gonna put it in chat. Maybe someone can tell me what actually went down here. I don't know what was concluded in the end, but you know, I just love to start drama. The very cup I'm trying to promote and cast here, I'm also trying to bring down at the same damn time. I'm so confused. I'm so conflicted, Sideshow.
It's an odd road that you walk, Admirable. You alternate between trying to tear down the establishment and promote it.
I'm crying and laughing at the same time. Yeah, we will be going to the semi-finals, so we're just waiting for a few of those other results to come in. I have messaged Commander X, but he seems to be deep in thought or fully focused on the game right now. You know, he's in the zone, looking at the scores, you know, from inspecting his game or looking at his game information on Steam, even is what I'm trying to say. Is a lot of the essential players seem to be up at the top of the scoreboard, so I'm imagining CX may be in the lead. It's the essentials versus Globetrotters, trawlers. But